What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with another big one. This time around, it's a little special video. Big shout out to the team at Stream. Team from Stream. Shout out to you guys. We decided to partner up, and we're bringing to you a sponsored video where we're going to be using some of their SDKs and tools to build out a Twitch-like streaming app. And what is going to be in the app, so we're going to be able to view a live stream and also host a live stream in the same app. Right now, I can view a live stream and give it a second, and boom, this is me on the live stream. If you guys see, this is from my phone. A little behind the scenes. So we're able to view the live stream and we can react. We can have some reactions, you know, maybe boo, right? And there's actually a chat here, a chat section where you can be like, yo, do it again, right? And we actually have support for GIFs like this. Like this was if you do this Giphy here, you can say, let's put fire and see what it says. This takes a second to load, but once it loads, it'll show us a GIF that represents fire. And we also added full screen support to our stream and horror landscape mode. I mean, I was gonna say horizontal. I always call it horizontal, but what it really is landscape. And yeah, and you can even go into chat mode here in horizontal mute and in landscape mode. I keep calling it horizontal. And this is how the GIF that's how the Giphy looks when it's loaded up. So this is something neat. And this, we didn't really write any code for this. Like, this was given to us by Stream. Like, we didn't write any code to handle that. Like, this is straight out the box. What we did write was for this animation effect. But even for this effect, we created this section here, but the animation is actually from a library that Stream added. And that's the live stream section. And if you want to host, which I'm doing on my device here, you just go to the host. And this lets you host a live stream from right here. Of course, it's black or dark because we're streaming from our device, but it's actually, now we just switched to my device because that was the stream that actually has video. But yeah, that's what we're building here. I hope you guys are ready to build this out. It's a little, not too crazy, but it's actually really dope to see the tools that Stream has given us. That now we can build anything. We got all the infinity stones. So you guys watch out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, shout out to Stream for sponsoring this video. They have a lot of cool features, and by the way, you don't have to pay to access these features. They're all free for indie devs. Once you get a certain user base, you have to pay, or if you're just like live streaming 24/7, then you may have to pay. They may come knocking at your door. All right, guys, so let's get into it. The first thing we need to do is we need to go to Google, actually, or whatever browser you have, and we need to get us set up with Stream. So the link to this will be in the description, or you could just Google getstream.io. And this is the website. And first we need to create an account. So make sure you guys create an account. This is free. I just use my Google account. And you have to fill out this form. Let's see. We'll just say engineering or education. And again, this is free, so don't worry. I don't even think you need to put a card or anything. And then once you have, you get this set up, you go to the dashboard. And then you want to click on resources. What do we have? Video and docs. Yep, we want to go here. And if you don't know how to get there, just go to the website, the homepage, and video and audio, docs, and iOS, because that's the only thing that matters, right? Forget all the other frameworks. So now that we made it to documentation, let's actually go to Xcode and create our project so we can implement some of this stuff. All right, now I have Xcode opened up, and I'm gonna create a new project. This is gonna be an app, iOS app. Let's call this streamer Let's call it Stream TV, just like Twitch TV. All right, very original. SwiftUI, Swift, no storage, and we just hit next. And create this wherever you want to save it in your folders. Let this bad boy load. Now we need to reference the documentation. So I'm gonna go here, go to Google. All right. So we're gonna be following. Well, let's go to installation. So we can copy this URL first. And let's copy this URL and we just add this package. So add dependency, paste that in there, and just add any major up to next major version. And then you give this a second to load up the index. Load up the package. And we can bring all of these in. We're not going to use a UI kit version, but just bring it in. Cool. Let me change this device to, let's do the Pro Max. All right, I'm going to refer back to the documentation. So we added this. And one thing we need to make sure we do is we need to do the privacy camera usage. So we can just actually copy this, or you can write it. I'm going to write it just in case you guys don't have the documentation open up like I do. So I'll write the first one and then I'll copy the second one. So you just go to privacy and you can literally just find camera, like it'll show you there. Or you could just write this string. All right. And then right here, you have to actually write like some text, like please allow access to enjoy our app. Don't put a smiley face. You might get an issue. I think I put an emoji once and then it was giving me errors. So so you have to be careful. And I'm not even going to copy and paste because you could just write privacy. And the next one we need is microphone, which is here. And I'm going to just copy this one. And that's all we need to add in our plist. Cool. Let's see what the quick start says. Oh. This is a quick start, but we're not gonna be setting it up like this. We're gonna be referencing the live stream tutorial that they have here. And we're gonna make a few changes to fit our use case. Sorry. Let's go to our app. So we have a content view here. And the way the app is going to be structured is we're going to have the option to go live or to view the live stream. Of course, in a real production environment, you wouldn't have that for any user to just be able to, whoever has the app can just go live or watch the live stream. But just for our project and just so you guys can go live and like see yourself, you could just, sometimes you want to see yourself. So, or you could share the app with your friend, like on test flight or something, and you guys can go live and they can view. So the first thing we're gonna handle though is we're gonna handle the view, like the viewer screen. So let's create a button for view, so you can view the live stream. And this actually is gonna be a navigation link, actually, not even a view. A button, because we want to navigate to a different screen. All right. It's building. Give it a second. All right, so our preview is working. This can just be an empty view for now. And we can make some change. Let's add some padding. Let's add a background. Dot fill. Let's do like ultra. Like, is it thin material or thick material? Let's try that. And actually, I forgot. I want to bring in a rounded rectangle first, with the corner radius of 10. All right, and if we click on this, it navigates to our empty view. Great UI, right? Great UI. But now let's actually create the view that we're gonna navigate to when we want to view the live stream. So to do that, we need to create a new file here. We're gonna call this live stream view. And when we create the view, so what do we want to do in here? So in here, we need to import stream SwiftUI video. And then, and we can hide the preview. We're not gonna be using it for this project, to be honest. Not much, and only like in the content view because we need to run this on a simulator for it to work. All right, so in here we want to create a VStack. And at the top of our VStack, we can call something called live stream view or live stream player that comes to us from stream video. And this will show us a live stream. We just want to define the type and we need to give in the call ID. So what we'll do is we will require a call ID at initialization of this view. And we will call that call ID here. And that's literally all you got to do to import a live stream player. Although if you try to run this, it wouldn't work, right? Because we haven't configured the stream SDK. So let's do that and let's pass in a call ID to our live stream view. So we're going to want to configure it here in our content view, and we're going to reference this here. So instead of doing it in the app file, we're doing this in our content view. And we are going to copy this and we go back here and we put that at the top. And then we need to create an init where we're going to initialize these values. But before we do that, we need these strings. And I'm going to create a secret struct where we will have the values for this. I mean, it won't be secret to us, but I mean to you because you can see it. But it's so we can call it from anywhere in the app if we need to reference the API key or the call ID, you know. And speaking of API key, it's not in here, so we need to create that. Because you see here, we're going to use it. So static let API key equals something. And where do you find these values? The neat thing about Stream is we can actually scroll down and get the values right here. So as long as you sign in, the credentials to try out the app, you can use this. And I believe I just copied the token. And the user ID is this. The call ID is this. And our API key is this. Cool, hit Command B. We still have these issues because we didn't initialize these values. All right, let's scroll back up. And now we can try to get this started. So the user equals user. Right here, you see here, we pass in the user ID and then the name. Tutorial. So we can copy this or we can write it out. So we need to create a user ID, and instead of you see we get issues, and actually these issues because we need to import stream video, and oh look, Xcode is telling us we have to do that. So that takes care of that part, and now we just need to call secrets and then dot user ID here. And then we need to create a stream video. So stream video object. We need to set it equal to stream video. We will say secrets.api key. We pass in the user we just created and we'll say secrets.user token. And I believe you can pass in. Nope, this is the only thing that's required. And after you create this, you can call self.stream video equals the stream video object you just created. Hit Command B, and oh, this is a string. When I think it wants a user token from raw value this. There we go. And we have one more error because we need to create the call. So let's create a call here. And we can create that call from the stream video object. So the call type is going to be live stream. And the call ID is going to be secrets.call ID. And then we say self.call equals call. And we can put that here. Let's see. There we go. And what do we, I think that's all actually. Yeah, because the next thing you do is join a call. Which I'm going to copy this, but I'm not going to do it yet. I want to see what happens if we don't use it. So now let's reference the live stream view that we created. And we can pass in secrets.call ID. And let's make sure you're going to run this on a simulator. And let's just run it. See what happens. All right, let's hit view. And boom, we got an error joining live stream. Please try again later. And it's not working yet because we haven't started the live stream. So this is a good sign because this is actually coming from, this text here is being shown from the live stream player from stream. So what do we want to do here? You guys see, well, you guys probably you can't see, but if this live stream was working, the live stream would be in portrait mode, taking up the whole screen. And that's not what we kind of want in our app. So to correct for that, we need to create a frame here with a height of like 200. And then we need to create a frame on the VStack max height of dot infinity and an alignment of dot top. Now let's run this and we go to view and you see that it shifted up here. And now our live stream is shifted. I can call a divider here and we can see exactly where it ends. Yeah, so it's going to be taking up that part of the screen, which is good. Like if you open up Twitch or something like that, most videos are being streamed like in 1080p, which is like landscape mode. And if you were watching it in portrait mode, it would be weird because you'd have to cut off the screen or you'd have to shrink the stream to fit into the phone. So that's why we kind of shrank it to 200 and we're just shifting it to the top. So underneath the live stream, I want to create like a reaction section and like a chat section, right? So for the reaction section, we need to create an HStack. And we actually want to have a list of emojis. So let's say var emojis. And these are going to be just strings. And you guys can have whatever emojis you want here. I'm going to go with some that I found interesting or appropriate for like a stream. So we could do fire. And to access your emojis, you do Command Control Space, and we'll do like a fire. We will do the skull. Maybe you said something funny or something. The rocket ship. What else? The eye emoji. And a trash can. Just for fun. Just for fun, just for fun. All right. And then we're going to iterate through each of those using a for each. So we're going to say for each emojis. Ah, emoji. And then we want to create a button with an action and a label. And we get this auto completion issue. All right. So when we have the button, to fix this issue, we need to create an ID and make it equal to self, or use a key path of self. And you need to be careful with this because that means you need to make sure that none of these are duplicates or we'll run into an issue. And actually, I think we can use a different type of button. We can use this one. And we can just call emoji here. And let's get rid of this code. And I think we could, if we run this, it should show. Yep. And you see they show up like this. So let's add some padding here. And another thing we can do is we can add a font of a large title. This will make the emojis bigger. And let's actually just make the padding horizontal. Let's run that. There we go. And you see we can tap on these. Nothing happens though. All right, so I'm gonna create another var. This will be at state var selected emoji. And by default, I'm just make it the fire. And another state var called should animate. Set this equal to false. Cool. Now we need to call them here. So selected emoji equals emoji. Should animate equals a true. All right, and on this H stack, I want to add some padding dot vertical, and we will bring in the max width of infinity here. Dot infinity. Cool. Let's make sure we add a spacing. All right, and here we want to I want to add a background. Rounded rectangle here. Corner radius of let's say 20. And let's fill it with ultra thick material. And run that. There we go. This will be the reaction section. And if you want, we can add a little bit extra padding here. There we go. The next thing we need to do is bring in a comment section. And thanks to Stream, again, they actually have a chat feature that brings in almost everything for you. You go to chat messaging docs. And let's go to the documentation here. We got to go to iOS integration for the LLC stream chat use. Well, I see. We're going to be using stream chat SwiftUI. So we want to call this one. But I believe if we just import this, it's going to give us the option to bring in the others. Let's go to add package dependency, paste that in here. Hit add package because we're gonna need both. So let's try to do this one first and see what options it gives us. Oh yeah, like right here saying stream chat SwiftUI if you want to bring it in or not. We do. So then we're gonna import stream chat. It's still indexing actually, but we shouldn't import it yet because we actually need to do some setup first. All right, this is not important for us. This is CocoaPods. All right, so we got to go getting started SwiftUI. So we need to create this, I believe, in our app. Do they have a, let's see, SwiftUI overview? I believe they should have some more documentation. I believe if we see, oh, yeah, I think here we go. This is what we're looking for. So in our app file, we need to bring in this, which I'm not really sure what this is doing because it looks like it's just returning true in this function. But all right, we're gonna bring it in. We're not going. They say it's required, then it's required. So we're gonna go back to our app file, bring that in up here, hit Command B, see if we have any issues with our packages. And while that's indexing, let's go back and see what's next. So after you do that, you need to do this, which basically lets you refer to the app delegate that you just created. This is extra. I don't believe we need UI kit since, yep, this is working. And then what's next? Oh, we got to do this in the app delegate. So this is a stream chat. Okay. And to be honest, well, I'm not entirely sure, but I've done this with all this stuff in the app struct, and I didn't have any issues, but I just want to follow the documentation just in case maybe there is a reason why you want to do it in the app delegate and not in the in just the app class here. But in my experience, it worked perfectly fine doing it either. So we need to create this func here. I think that's what's missing. Yeah, so we have a reference to our stream chat, our chat client. Let's just do a side by side. Get rid of this pop-up. Let's close this bad boy. All right. So we need to create this function called connect user. All right, this function is created. And now in our app delegate, so yeah, now in this function, we're actually doing some stuff. So we want to, the stream chat instance, we need to assign. So that's the chat client. For tutorial, we use hard-coded API keys and the application. I believe in here we can reference our API key now. Oh, I did it wrong. We have to reference API key here because it's a string. And there's an object for API key. All right. So this is the chat client and this is a group identifier. Yeah, this doesn't matter. And actually one thing I want to do too is I want to do is local storage enabled, set this equal to true, because this enables offline mode. So it'll like cache and store messages for us, which is pretty cool. You don't even have to worry about that. Let's clean up this code, to be honest. We don't need this. We do not need this. All right. Yeah, so we referenced, yeah, this was optional, so we created here. And then we call this function connect user, which takes a token. And I believe this is the token for the user. And connects them to the SDK. Yeah, we're gonna leave this hard coded, and there's actually a link to generate tokens in case you want to generate one for a user. So let's say my name is Jeff, and this will generate a token for us. And this is kind of how the JWT generator works. Like it's literally, that's why they say it's not as secure, because you can reverse engineer it. because it's basically using like an algorithm to do it. And that's just something to note if you want to generate more JWTs here. All right, now this should be working. Trust me. Trust me. So we can call, well, now we can import stream chat. And I believe we need to import both. Stream chat SwiftUI. All right, so in the chat messaging documentation, if we go to the chat channel, we can get a better idea of how to use it. And that's what we're going to be using to display the group, the stream chat. So let's call it chat channel, and we can, let's see which one we'll need. So we need a view factory. Actually, we can default to we don't need to worry about the view factory. We don't need to worry about the view model because we can default to the default ones. We do need a chat channel controller. Well, actually, we do need a chat channel controller, and we can call chat client with a config here. Then we need to call chat config with an API client string secrets API key, and then we call dot here after the chat client. We call dot channel controller for channel ID. And we can get rid of these. These were optional from the chat channel view. So let's see what we created here. There we go. And the channel ID, we need to create an object called channel ID. Type and ID. So type is just a type of the channel, which is a live stream, and the ID. This is something that you would handle on your end. So you can just give it any random string name. But it would be important to remember that string because every time you look for that channel, you're going to need that string ID. All right, so we should be able to run this and see if it works. If your app crashes, then that means there was an issue with the chat setup. All right, so no crash. That's a good sign then. That's a good sign. Let's go to view. Oh, and it's loading here. We have a chat section loading. Let's get rid of this divider. And it looks like the chat section is still loading. So what we can try to do is we can go to our profile, I believe. We can go to our apps. Go to this app here. So you need to go to this app and get this API key or get this key here. So back in your dashboard, if you haven't, create a project or create an app, and that's where you're going to use for the chat. And let's go to Xcode and put that in here. And I believe I've already used this key before, so there might be messages in the chat. Although there might not be actually because we're using a different channel ID. Oh, so we're getting this issue here. So we have to do, so the reason this is not working is because we have to do a few things. We have to create the channel, and then we have to connect our chat client to the channel so that we synchronize it and we are able to listen to messages to and from. And we can actually do that in our app delegate. So let's create a private func here called create channel. And again, we're only creating one channel because this is it's going to be the streaming app for just one channel to view and one channel to host from. And we can let the channel ID equal channel ID. this one, live stream, and I believe it's my stream or my live stream. That was the ID we went with. Yep. Just copy and paste it. Make sure we have no typos. And then we have to create a channel controller. And this, we reference the chat client. And we'll say create channel ID with. So we call this one. Then we call channel ID. Actually, not this one. We want to say. So this one throws. Let's do this one. We can see the difference here. Creates a new channel controller. Provided ID. We just use this one. Channel ID. And then we can reference this channel controller to synchronize to it. And we can print error dot localized description if there is any. We don't care about anything else in this completion block. We can, I mean, you can do like a if let error equal error just to have better error handling. This is not optional now. And now we can call this after we connect the user. We can call create channel. All right, and now we should be able to run this. So I run it on my app here. View, and oh, there we go. There we go. We got a chat section. And if I click here, hello, it's me. Let's send this. And you guys can send, this is really cool from Stream. Like you can send, oh, I think it just crashed because we tried to access the library and we haven't enabled access to that. So let's run this again. I believe we have to set up the plist if you want to do that. But we can send like a GIF. Let's do LOL and see what is sent. Well, that's funny. Is this not working? All right. An alternative you can do is you can run this on your device. And that's what I'm gonna do now. Actually, one thing I need to do before we run this is I need to change my device settings. I currently have my device on grayscale. So it's in black and white. Just trying it out. It's been interesting. Let me change this though. So I'm gonna run the app here, and this is my iPhone actually. Shout out to any apps you might see that you like. All right, and this is still loading, so I'm gonna wait. All right, so we're running the app, and we go to view, and we see hello, it's me. What's up? It's just me having a conversation with myself. Please disregard. So I believe if we go to our info.plist and we add a privacy. Oh, I think I'm changing this. So make sure you hit plus and then you hit privacy. Privacy, it should be storage or library. No, where is it? Photo library usage. Please allow access, please. Please. There. Hopefully this is acceptable. And if we run this on the simulator now, there we go. And this is what is supposed to be shown when you do the Gifty. I think it takes a second for it to load, to be honest. And it'll show you something like this, and you can actually decide whether you want to send it or not. So we're going to send this to the chat, which is pretty dope. Like, we just had to integrate the SDK, and this was given to us. Like, we didn't have to code this up. But let's keep going. Let's keep marching along. There's still a few things I want to do. Like we need to add some animations, and I want to get rid of this toolbar here, which is weird, right? It looks weird. So let's go back to our live stream. And the first thing we need to do is we need to highlight this and click on it, or highlight and right click on it, I mean. And we need to embed this. So we should get the option to embed. What we can do is we can fold it, and we will just cut this and then call Z stack. Oh. And then put that in there. And we need to add an alignment to the Z stack. Alignment dot top leading. And what are we gonna use this Z stack for? This Z stack is gonna serve two purposes. One, we're gonna hide the toolbar, so we're gonna have to add our own elements. And two, we are gonna use, remember the emojis here? We're gonna add some animations to make this look nice. So the first thing I wanna do is, if we're gonna animate it, we're gonna use if should animate. And another thing from Stream that we're gonna bring in is the effects library. Stream. Let's do get stream. This library here, and we have to specify Swift. And let's see what happens if we Google this. So effects library. Yeah, I'm not sure how much documentation they have on it, but if you go to this GitHub, you'll have all the documentation you need here. And the link to this will be in the description. So we are going to copy this, and we're bringing it into our project. So we're going to go to add dependency, paste that in here, add the package. When this is done, you just hit add package. And all we want to do is import effects library here. Cool. And if we reference back to this view, this is kind of what you use to set it up. And the cool thing is you can get like effects like these. Again, straight out the box, thanks to Stream. Shout out to you guys. Jerome, Amos, and Stefan, and Vlad. Sorry if I butchered your name, man. My bad. It was not on purpose. All right, so we have to, these are like the options we get. And I want to, and we're going to call that in here in this should animate. We're going to call confetti view with a confetti config. So let's call confetti config. And which ones are we going to use? So you can play around with these, but the most important one is the content. And for the content, what exactly do we want? So that is a very good question, actually. And here we want the emoji. And in our case, to get the emoji, and this could be an array, I believe. You can have more than one piece of content. So I'm going to say dot emoji. And we need to call selected emoji. And if you realize we get an issue because it's asking for a character and we use the string. So we're going to change this to a character. And we'll just change this to an array of characters. And then all we have to do here is call string and wrap our emoji as a string. And we can use 1.0. I believe this is for the size of the emoji. And on up here of this, we can pretty much put a timer here. So we'll say dispatch queue dot main dot async after. So after now plus like 2 seconds, we can make this stuff disappear. And we can do that by just setting should animate equal to false. Let's see if this is gonna work. Let's run this. All right, let's see, loads up. Cool, let's see. Hey, there we go. And let's see what if we change this to a 5, what does this look like? It's either the size or the intensity. I believe it's the size though. Oh yeah. Well, this is huge. So yeah, we're sticking with 1. And then we have a bunch of stuff we can call, right? Like we can go into hit command, click on this, and we can see here. Or we can just go down here. There we go. You click on this, and so we have an intensity, initial velocity. Let's play around with these, intensity and initial velocity. So intensity, let's do high. What does that look like? View. All right. And initial velocity. Dot fast. Let's run that. All right. I think I'm gonna just go with the regular velocity. Cool. And all right, so this sets up the reactions. Oh, we got to get rid of the separator. Wait, run the app one more time. I want to check something. Yeah, we got to get rid of this toolbar because this is from the chat section, and like, which you might want to keep, but it's gonna impede in the way of the live stream. Actually, we'll keep it in there for now. Let's keep it in there and see what happens. And let's put ignore safe areas. So now that we have our chat section and our reaction set up, let's focus on the host view. So we got to go back to our content view, and we need to, so this is a navigation stack. Let's create another navigation link here, and this would be host. And we will navigate to a new file, call this host view. SwiftUI view, host view. Cool, cool. And then we can simply call host view here. Cannot find it in the scope. Hit Command B. Give it a second. And let's do a frame max width of infinity, max height of. Actually, let's keep it at max width of infinity for now. Let's do that to both of these and run them. And actually, I'm going to add a foreground style of purple here to both of them. There we go, host and view. So we can host here. We click on host and we get taken to this empty view, which is cool. So what do we want in our host view? If we go back to our documentation, back to the very beginning, we're here to the live stream tutorial. We want to render the video for the host. And we can do that using this. Pretty much both of these here. So we want to call these, and then we're going to want to initialize the call here in the init. So this will be injected. We'll have to import stream video. Hit Command B. And we can comment this out. This needs to be in a VStack. And you see here, we get an error that we're missing a call. We can fix that right now. Just pass in the call. There we go. Command B. So now we have access to stream video and the call here. And what I want to do is I want to move this stuff to our initialization of the host view. So when we don't need a stream here. Actually, we don't even need this because what we can do is, so we cut this out, and then what we can do is we can create a task here. And that gets rid of the need for the task that this was wrapped in. And it does require us to use a do catch block though. Look at Xcode making us error handle. Good job. We print this and no async operations occurs within the await. That's weird because in the content view it told us to await. Huh. So this is going to happen on appear. It's going to run this task. And now we can refer back to documentation. To get our video reader, we need this line of code here, which is given to us by Stream. And they give us this video render view, and this is pretty much how you set it up. Like there's no way around it. Like if you want to have a host view, this is how you would have it. And we can hit Command B, and you see we're missing a state here. And that is from this state object, call state. So we need to bring that in. It looks like we will need the initializer here. We will need access to the call here to set it equal to call state. And since this is a state object, we need to do state object, wrapped value, and then call state. And we can use this to make this look nice. We can put this under here. There we go. And then now we need to import stream video SwiftUI to actually get access to the video render view. Hit Command B. Oh, now it says we're missing a state. Oh, it's because we have it here, but we actually don't need that. So hit Command B now. There we go. Now let's try to run this, and if this is working, then we should be able to see ourselves in this video render. Although it's not going to work in the simulator because we don't have a camera, but you can still technically go live. So here's this host. Oh yeah, like we're streaming and it's black. And another way to check if you're streaming is to go to here, go join call in the documentation. And it says waiting for live stream to start. So this is showing up on our device, meaning that this worked. To actually see the live stream, like right here, we can see the live stream, but what you'll have to do is you'll have to go try await call.go live. Go live right here, and then you run this. And we go here to our host. And we go to join call now. Back in the documentation, it's join stream. And this is what they see because we don't have access to a camera. And it's, you know, this is us because we set the name as tutorial here. And if I actually run this, and now let's go to the view. We should see that. Yeah, look, we see this in the view. So let's stop this. And let's run this on our devices, Because if you run this on your device, then you should be able to see yourself. Oh, or me. Depending on if you have a device and you're doing this with me. All right, so the app loads up on my end. I'll click on host and I can see myself. Oh my God. You guys have my phone here. Let's see if, let's go to the app and let's go to the view part. There we go. That's me. And if you see the camera's a little blurry, it's because it's cracked. There's a crack in between the camera. But it's working nonetheless. And I'll probably show up here. There we go. There's 2 tutorials in here. Uh-oh. There we go. That is the streaming setup, which is cool. And if we want to give the host access or views of the chat, we can do, let's do something. I'm going to create a new view. Call this chat section. And it's pretty much, we're just going to go back to our live stream and just rip out the chat section. Put that in there and paste it in here. We just need to import Swift. No, wait, not Swift. Stream chat. And stream chat SwiftUI. There we go. And then we can call that here in this chat section. Give this a, let's give the chat section a frame of, give it a height of like 300. And let's run this and see what it looks like. There we go. So this is the stream and this is the chat. So now I'm running this on my device just to see if there's any changes that were made. All right, so you see this is the view. This is me, flattering angle. All right, so this is we're in our host view here. And let's see. So let's clean a few things up. In our host view, let's hide the toolbar. So toolbar visibility, we will say hidden. And we have to say we want the navigation bar hidden. Now let's run that. We go to host. All right, we got rid of the toolbar and here are my fingers. All right, so we want to actually, I believe this padding is caused by this. So let's do that and let's remove this padding. Let's see how this looks. There we go. This is more like it. Now we're getting closer to where we want to be. The last thing, I think it's because in our, it might be our VStack that needs to be ignore safe areas. Let's see. Frame. Or maybe we can do this. Let's try that. And also, let's embed this in a Z-stack because we need to do one thing. Since we got rid of the toolbar, we're not able to navigate back. So what I'm going to do is I cut everything out and I'm going to put it in a Z-stack. And we will set an alignment on this top leading. And now here, let's move this. Let's move this stuff to the Z stack just so it's cleaner. All right, here we want to add our buttons. So we're gonna have just one button for now. We're gonna have a, yeah, it's gonna be a, and we can use button. Let's use this one, system image. And what image do we want to use? I think there's like back. chevron backwards. That's what we want to use. All right, so when we tap on this button, we want to dismiss the view. So we need to call environment, use a key path and call dismiss just to create this var. And we will call it. So now let's run this and let's see if this shows up. There we go. Let's see if we put a font of large title. If that changes the sizing. It does. But let's just do title because large title looks really massive. And it appears like we still aren't in a full screen here. So let me see. If I cut this out, I believe it's because in our content view, we aren't. Let's put ignore safe areas here. I think we should have done it after our padding or before our padding. So now we go to host and all right, so the top is now showing. So let's put this stuff in a VStack. VStack. So on the VStack, let's do max height and max width of infinity. And remove the padding. See how that looks. So now we're hugging the edges. And now you see that the stream takes up the whole width of the screen. There's no padding, which gives us a nice effect, right? Look, it looks good. It looks good. So we're gonna go with that. And if we go, I believe if we add some padding here, it's gonna correct the buttons. Yep, there we go. The buttons are corrected. And let's add a height to them. So frame with a height of, let's do 150. Oh, we forgot to bring in the dot. Let's do 150 on both of them. And we can bring in a background color of color.purple. And let's change this to ultra thick. So we got a host and we got a view. We'll do large title for the font size. All right, and if we go to our host view, how is this looking? It's looking good. We need to add some padding though to the to our back button. And I don't know if we tested if it works. So let's do that. Oh, it works. That's a quick test. So our back button works. And now we need to incorporate something like this in our live stream view because, so this is our host. And if you guys see, there's a very subtle gap in between these. And that'll go away if we change the spacing to 0, I believe. I think by default, there's a small spacing in between items. Yep. Yeah, it gets rid of this small spacing. You can leave it in there if you want. And you can also adjust this. If you want the screen to be smaller and you want the chat to be bigger, you can change the frame here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this dismiss button. And can I just do this? Nope, we can't. So we need to make sure we bring in this text. We go to live stream view and so in our Z stack top leading, we can do it right here above this, above the should animate. And we have to bring in our environment wrapper here at the top. And let's bring this in at the top as well. Put this down here and run this. All right. One thing we forgot to do is we forgot to get rid of the toolbar. So that's one thing we need to do is we can do that. Let's do it at the bottom of the Z stack. Toolbar, visibility, hidden for the navigation bar. And I'm gonna stop showing it on my simulator. I mean on my device. And show it on the simulator. Because what I'll do is I'm going to put the host view on my device and we will run this on the simulator. And what I'll do is I'll probably turn off my camera. All right, so we're gonna be using the simulator now. And this should show me, probably. Give it a second. But it looks like we already have some things we need to work on here. We need to add some padding. And oh yeah, there I go. I think this is causing the issue. Let's get rid of this ignore safe area. And let's go to view now. Yeah, there we go. So we hit play and there we go. This is the back button, it works. Cool, and then this is given to us from stream, by the way. This live, this view count, this time. And you can, I wonder, wait, is this playing audio? Hello? Hello? I can't hear it. Yeah, it doesn't, I'm not sure. Let's see. Echo. No. Yeah, I was wondering because we have the mute button here actually. And we can pause and play the live stream and we can react. And we can send message. This is fire. And I'll react by myself. And we're doing the reactions offline. We're not we're being, what's it called? We're not sending it up to the database. The last thing we're gonna add is we're gonna add support for horizontal, because if you go horizontal, it stays like this, which I mean you could this could work potentially. But since it's a streaming app, when we go horizontal, or what do you call it, landscape, we want to go full screen in our view. So what we're gonna do is in our live stream view, we're gonna create a Boolean. It's gonna be an at state var, and this is gonna be tracking whether the phone is full screen or not. It's gonna be a Boolean, and we can set it equal to UI screen. Or UI device, sorry, UI device. Current orientation is landscape. So this will be true if the device is in landscape mode, which is like horizontal or like sideways. An explanation for landscape is beyond the scope of this course. And what we can do though is we can say on receive, and we can listen to publish events from our device. And we will listen to notification center, notification center dot default dot publisher for UI device. Orientation did change. So that's what we're looking for. When this happens, we want to grab the scene. So we're gonna guardlet the scene, UI application, .share, .windows, .first, .windows scene, else. Oh, I did this wrong. You do else and then you do the curly brace. Return. So this is how we grab the scene. And based on this, we will set is full screen equal to scene dot interface orientation is landscape. So using is landscape covers both sides. So if it's like tilted to the left or tilted to the right, it won't matter. Cool. So we got that. Now what do we want to do when it's full screen. The only thing we want to do is change the height. So we're gonna use a ternary operation. So if it's full screen, we're gonna say UI screen main bounds dot height plus 60. Else we'll do the 200. And we can set an alignment here just to be safe of dot top. And now let's run this. So if we run this, this is a standard view, right? Let's see if I load up. Yep, it's just me talking to myself here. And we go, oh, this is what happens when we go landscape. Then when we go here, this is what happens. Then we go here, this is what happens. And we go here, this is what happens. Let's add a print here. Did change. And our phone's upside down. So if we view this, all right, like this, okay. All right, so it's working. Huh. My head is cut off. To be honest, let's do something here. Let's add a spacing of 0 and let's try to get rid of this. I don't think we need this anymore. This actually might be causing the issue with the spacing. All right, I think we can do this. And we can just add a conditional here. So if is full, so we're gonna do if is not full screen. We'll show this. And for the full screen, you'll notice that if the phone's upside down, we don't go into full screen, which is intended. And this is good. And if we upright, we do get out of full screen, which is cool. Yep, there we go. We get the, yeah, upside down. This is upside down, by the way. I don't know if you can tell. It's hard to tell unless you go home, I think. There you go. That's upside down. So we can stay full screen if it's upside down. But if it's upright, it switches. So that's good. What's the last thing? Oh, I want to add a toggle button here. So let's put this in an H stack. And we can call full screen this one. And we can set is full screen equal to true. Or actually not even true. We can toggle it. Oh, and I think I missed a spacer. Yeah. So we add a spacer here. And now in the view, boom, we get something like this. And to be honest, we can go with title 2, I think, for these colors. I mean, these buttons. And this is good. Yeah, because we would be sideways here. We would be sideways here. And we would be sideways here. The only padding I'm going to add here is vertical. I don't want the top padding. Because when the phone is upright, it makes it look a little weird. So we'll go, I mean, not vertical, I meant horizontal. So we go view, yeah, this looks a little bit nicer. The issue is on full screen here, our buttons slide all the way up. So how can we prevent that? Let's add a padding dot top. And we can add a conditional here. So if it's full screen, Make the padding 24, else 0. View. Cool, this works. Oh, there we go. Maybe we can even make it 32, but it's working nonetheless. We're almost wrapped up here. This is probably just a few more things we want to add. This is the host view. Let's see. There we go. This is all right. Yeah, this is good. This looks good. Now we should do something similar to our host view, right? Because this looks weird. What's going on? We need to set up our formatting for the device changes, orientation changes. We'll do that and then we'll wrap up the video. Let's bring the camera back. So we basically want to do something very similar we did here in our stream view. Or yeah, in our stream view. We want to bring that over to our host view. So we're going to create the same is full screen boolean. We are going to listen to changes to that. We can do that here. And one thing I'm realizing as we're copying this is you could extract this out into your content view and just bind it, make it binding to the live stream view and the host view. So since I want to keep the project simple, we're not going to do that, but you could do that just to help extrapolate some of your code. You know, you do not repeat yourself. It's a principle, the dry principle in coding. So that's a challenge for you if you want to implement that. But all right, we brought in the var. The last thing we need to do is we need to bring in this. So we can I think we could just copy over this. Yep, the last thing we need to change is the frame here. So let's run this and see how the heck this looks, because I am not too sure. And we'll have to think about what we want to show in our host view. So this is to go full screen. So, I see. What we can do is if it's not full screen. So if we're not in full screen, we will have a comment section, else we will not. Let's see how this looks. There we go, and it's black because we don't have a camera here. And yeah, we go into full screen. It looks like this. Wait, what happens if I go full screen and I want to show? Oh, this is nice. May make it a little bit smaller. But you get the point. It's more, when you go into this view, it's more to see the chat and not yourself. Cool. And you could, again, change the sizes of this. If you want the chat to be bigger, you can do it like 350. Make this bigger. And if you want to see how it looks in a live environment, just run this on your device and it would work. The last thing I want to try before we wrap up is we printed out something. We printed out something. Where did we print the key? Oh, I think in our host view at the bottom, right? Yeah, we printed out this RTMP key, which is for like live streaming. If you're using something like OBS, like I am right here, then you can try to live stream to it, and let's see if that works. So I'm gonna copy this URL, go here. Actually, not here, go to OBS. Paste that URL in here. And let's copy this key. All right. So I should be streaming. So let's go to view. And let's see if this is work. Oh! This is weird, right? This is like, this is the, we're breaking the matrix here. Oh my God. This is cool though. And you can set this up if you have OBS. And this is wild, right? This is crazy. And we're going to end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Big shout out to Stream for sponsoring this video. This is a dope SDK. And we have our phone upside down, so we don't know what the heck is going on. There we go. And let me stop streaming here, but big thanks again to Stream for sponsoring this video. I had a lot of fun building it out, and I hope you do as well. And it's such a powerful tool they give to us. Like, we're able to stream. They have the back end set up, and we're able to integrate a chat feature into our stream. And we didn't have to worry about any back end stuff. Just put the UI in there and let the back end do whatever it's got to do. Communicate to the servers and stuff, which is an amazing feature. So again, shout out to Stream. Let me know what your thoughts are on the video, and if you have any inspirations or ideas or what you guys would like to see in the future. And let me know if you're gonna take some of this stuff and apply it to an idea you have. Maybe you're gonna try to build something out. I love to see what you guys build, so feel free to send it to me on any of the social media platforms. I'm on Twitter or LinkedIn. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your day. This was another fire tutorial here. Well, I hope it was fire. Have a good rest of your day, and y'all keep coding. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.